Kenyatta, wanauliza kama Kenya kuko sawa. Nikawajibu Kenya tuko na disaster. Watoto wetu wanazidi kuzikana. Na Tomboya ameshika tama, alituacha kama angali kijana. Je, angekuwa mambo yangekuwa sawa? Ndivyo walivyopanga Maulana. Deni mulizoacha bado tunalipa, na tumekopa zingine China. Tukajenga reli pia barabara, zilizobaki watu wakasanya. So tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa, tuko kwa vita tunajibizana. Tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga futa, tusoke zetu tungalibikana. Waumini kwa makina, pasi kwa bina, kushoto fungu la 10 sadaka kulia. Ndio maana mbele ya kanisa mheshimiwa anakula sakramenti kabla ya raia. Siku za mwisho zimeshawadia, na revelation inatuambia hii generation inachoma picha. Hii generation yetu, so tujiangalie, tuko pabaya kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa, tuko kwa Twitter tunajibizana. Tujiangalie, tuko pabaya kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga kuta, sake zetu tungalibizana. Niko njaa siwezi karanga, uwe hai shagala badala. Niko tayari kulipa gharama, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. Sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. Ufisadi, ubinafsi, ukabila, kukuza sura, wataki kuza sera. Undugu ni kufaana, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. Sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. Hatujapatifa, una deserve, bila kasha makashfa. Hii society Kenya wanaeza share ni mungu ya busa, ama teto ya shisha. Mfuko zinasikia echo, unachota mani ya mali na size ya kifu. What's up family? Yo, ujaibiwa jua unaka kitu. It's another beautiful Saturday afternoon, the 22nd of June 2024. It's 12:43 p.m. Risking jail time, police bullet for, and we are back on the Black Hot Fire Network, on the Diary of a Young Black King. And today we are going to be talking about, of course, a lot of good things. We're going to be continuing with last Saturday's conversation. Last Saturday we were talking about decolonizing our systems, and we talked about educational systems that we have in Africa and how they are all colonized. So today we are going to be taking the conversation further, and today Keith is with me. So we're going to be talking about the religious systems and the financial systems. How have the two been weaponized, tailored to keep Africa poor? God doesn't pay, and this justice in our pay. Moving on 40 days, 365 years later, and I left for factor. Do anything for power, ready to lose their head for presidency. All of our yellow for currency. Some of Uganda is perfected, the time lines, in Flangani, even so the same feeling of that, keep it your pot, Juliane. Yeah. Niko njaa siwezi karanga,
tupunguze bei ya bidhaa, tunataka opportunities ndio tuafford hizo bidhaa.
So that is Juliani with Utawala. Utawala means leadership. So this is a revolutionary song.
Alisema kutembea kwingi ndio kuona mimi ningeshinda nikitembea kwa ofisi na
Talk about bad leadership in Africa and why we have to stand up against it.
ona kazi sasa tuta kwenye tiger woods mambo si barabara naomba jamani chakula kile tumboni ikitoka kwa sahani policeman anapiga rungu mwalimu daktari anamrudishia kiaga na mtoto wake anarudishwa nyumbani anasikiza kupina siwezi karanga uwe hai shagala bagala niko tayari kulipa gharama, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. Ufisadi, ubinafsi, ukabila, utafunga watanifunga Mungu nikufahamu, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala.
Sitasimama maovu ya kitawala means I'm not going to stand as continues to rule. Yes, and we can now start our show. Today we are talking about decolonizing our systems, especially on the financial and religious systems in Africa, and how religion especially, and religious systems have been decolonized for the longest. They've been used as a tool of social control, not just in Africa, but in the world, but more so in Africa. How are you doing, Keith?
Okay, how you doing today?
I'm also doing good.
All right, that's what's up.
Yep. So we're looking at decolonizing our systems and financial and
All right.
religious in Africa. And I'm happy because as we are talking about this, I saw something in the morning to do with. I told you about the 7 days of protest that started yesterday.
Yeah,
So I'm
7 days of rage.
Yep. So tomorrow's day of rage will be occupying churches. So that makes me happy. And even right now, as we are speaking, there is a meeting going on. So
All
the
right.
meetings, protests are done online. So there's an online meeting going on. They are planning on how they are going to occupy churches. And if you look at it, it's on Twitter. It has 54 people listening right now. 54K,
Oh, okay.
54,000 people.
54,000.
54,000 people are tuned in right now as they are planning on uh, how they are going to occupy churches tomorrow. So you can just see that the war that is happening in Kenya right now, because it's a war, is not just
Yeah,
about it's not
the
just
wake up.
about it's not just about fighting the finance bill. It's not just about fighting the
Nah,
government.
not
It's
fighting the
about
whole thing,
the
the
system.
whole system. That's right.
Yep.
Morning,
Because
Michelle. How you doing today?
come again.
I'm saying good morning, Michelle. I see her say good morning. I
Oh
say
yeah.
good morning back.
Yeah, so because the reason this especially came to realization was because we realized that politicians have been taking advantages of churches for the longest
Of
time.
course.
Why? Because, for example, the president right now, the current president, gained popularity through churches. So they will steal and loot, then go donate the money to churches. That is what happens. You steal, you loot, you donate to churches, and people love you. You steal, you loot, donate to churches, and people love you. And I love the fact that this has already started happening. Yesterday, there was an MP who was trying to say something in church, and they kicked him out. They told him, let me it's very far away from the church. And also yep. So I love how, even as we are talking about um, fighting the finance bill, fighting the government, people have realized that the enemy is not even Ruto. He is part of the enemy, but he is a very small enemy in the group of enemies. He is a
Exactly.
very
Yes. He's a puppet.
minor. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's almost irrelevant in this war, and they are now going for the bigger fish, which is
Bigger fish.
now. Yep. So occupy the churches will start tomorrow, and one of the funniest one was the biggest church in Kenya is called the Holy Family Basilica. So they are planning to go to the Holy Family Basilica tomorrow. Not because they love the church, but they are going to go
Because
early in the
yeah.
morning and fill all the seats so that the people who go to church will not get seats. So that, that is the plan. That is the plan I gather from this. I've just been listening to this. It's called a Twitter space. This Twitter space where they've been
Yeah,
planning
Twitter
this.
Spaces. Yeah, I wanted Barbara to start doing them Twitter Spaces.
Hmm.
Since she's the one having our Twitter account, I want her to start setting up Twitter Spaces to bring in more people
Hmm.
during the day. Yeah, yeah, because Twitter Spaces seem to be pretty good. It's almost like the way what was that shit called? Discord used to be. What was that? What was that? What was that?
Which
What was that app called? Like Twitter Spaces before Twitter Space. What was that thing called? It was
I'm
a
not sure.
certain app.
Hmm.
Was wasn't Discord? What was that? Because Twitter
If
took the damn idea from them.
if it was Discord, then it was never really popular here because
Yeah, it
I've
wasn't
only
Discord. There was
it
another
was
one. It wasn't Discord, but it was another one like Twitter Spaces. Um, I think what was the name of it? Man, it'll come back to me. Uh, it was just like what Twitter did was take that and popularize it and make it their own name. It was called something. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. It's the same. It's the setup. Twitter's everything and that, but that app just had that with that Twitter space thing part of it. That's the name of
yes.
that app.
So as the government is talking about protesters and people getting paid, the 54K of them in this Twitter space discussing how they are going to occupy churches have been paid as well. The person paying them must be very, very rich for him to be able to pay 54,000 people uh, on a Saturday morning to listen to how they are going to occupy churches tomorrow. And I love the plan. Get to church early, take all the seats. Then the faithful Protestants, the faithful congregation will not have anywhere to sit. So I'm gonna boo
That's
the police.
funny.
I think I'm also going to go to church tomorrow for the first time in quite a while, just so that I can
That's
boo any
funny.
politician who will try to speak on that body. So we fully 100%. But I'm gonna use my show to mobilize also and to talk about the finance
Yeah,
bill and
yeah,
to the rage because it's more than the finance bill, as I was saying. It's even about what we are talking about today when we talk about decolonizing our systems. It's about us going for uh, those systems that have been tailored to keep us the way we are. When we talk about the financial systems, as I showed you a billboard yesterday that somebody used their own money to pay. A billboard costs about $1,500 in Kenya. That is for about 2 weeks. So somebody
yeah.
paid
That's
a
for
thousand.
and that's for like and that's like for a month's time, right?
Yeah,
Like
so
fifteen hundred
somebody,
dollars for a month. Yeah.
yeah, somebody used their own money, $1,500, to put up a poster written, "We are not IMF's lab rats," just to drive that rate, just to make people understand. I don't even know who paid for that billboard, but you can start seeing that the conversation has gotten bigger. It started as a finance bill conversation where we were calling MPs,
That
telling
that's
them,
how that's how revolutions work, but they always
yes,
go bigger than the action movement. So you never know what's gonna spark that flame, and this is what
yes, it
sparked the
started as
flame.
Yep. It started as as simple as calling your MPs and telling them to not pass the finance bill. Then people realized the MPs are not even relevant in this conversation. They are so too small of a fish to even waste your time on. They are too small of a fish. And so people went from the MPs, they went to the president. And if you look around, you're gonna notice that people have started even realizing even the president in this conversation is he's not even the one who brought the bill. So, and I actually analyzed the speech that I shared yesterday of the prime minister saying that the finance bill going down will be equal to a vote of no confidence. And now they might be asked to, it will be almost the finance bill going down. He said the finance bill going down is equal to the government going down. And I looked at that and analyzed. I was analyzing that speech in the morning, and I saw another tweet by someone else who said that. Let me read the tweet for you so that you tell me whether it's factual. And the two of
All
them
right.
correlate. I now understand why the government is too afraid. So there's a tweet that was tweeted today by a guy called Amerix, and he said, once he used the word America, once America realizes that citizens have mounted a resistance against a regime they supported, they quickly block you, fund the resistance, and escalate the fall of that regime. Americans are egocentric hypocrites. Is it true that
Yeah.
once America realizes that citizens are mounting a resistance against a certain regime, they quickly start funding that resistance, they block you, and they'll escalate the fall of that regime?
Yeah, what they do, they make the fall of it. They put the other puppet, Riela Odinga. They control both sides. It's not America. They keep thinking it's America. America doesn't control America. American people, American government is not a government. People that run the world run America. They're just puppets. So it's deeper than just America. The people that own the banks that run this country, the banking scams. You know, the
Yes.
IMF, the World Bank, the Federal Reserve, is those people, not the American government. The American government is just a puppet of those people. So those people, yeah, because they always back both systems. That's why you never have any real opposition in America. I mean, in the world, because the opposition party and the party in power are controlled by the same people. So that statement is correct, but problem with this, the youth didn't start that from the opposition. They're not co-op by the opposition. That would be Trump. The youth started this on their own. So there's really nowhere for them to go. This kind of fucks up that scheme. This kind of fucks up that scheme. They got to go with the dog that they put in there because nobody actually backs
An unpopular government.
yeah, the other individuals. No one backs them. So you can't leave Ruto's government out in the cold and back your the opposing government because it's not people don't back it. So it's fraudulent. So you can't. That won't work at all. That won't work at all.
And so I was looking at this speech. I've shared on the screen what he said. Mudavadi is the prime minister. He said rejecting finance bill is equals to ejecting Ruto from the government. And at first I thought he was talking about the people not having confidence in the government anymore. But I realized he was not even talking about the people not having confidence.
No, exactly.
He meant
No.
if you reject the finance bill that the IMF gave Ruto to give to the people, then
Yes.
the message that the IMF is gonna get is that we cannot trust you anymore. We can't trust
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yes.
We can't trust you to drive our agenda anymore. And so it will be a very, very worrying message to the international, the monetary institutions that are really pushing for this. It will be almost like Ruto saying, I can no longer push your agenda. The people cannot.
It'll be like it'd be like he doesn't run Kenya. They don't give a fuck what he says to them. They'll get rid of his ass.
Yep. So I guess that is why
Ruto's a criminal. That's why they saved him from the egg. They put him. He's not elected. They put him in power. All these puppet ass niggas, Kenya have been put in power. None of them have ever been put in by the people. None of them. So the last ones, Uhuru and Ruto, are international criminals. So if he doesn't able to push the thing, they'll just lock his ass up. They decide, hey, we're getting rid of you. We're gonna bring these charges to get your stupid ass. So he's gonna force it as much as he can. He's gonna play hardball because they're gonna lock his ass up if he doesn't. The right's on the wrong for him. He's got to push it. But they're gonna lock his ass up.
I now understand the fear and why they are even giving the green light to shoot them if you have, but this thing has to pass because
exactly.
At first I thought Mudavadi was talking about the people not having confidence in the government, but now I realize not even the people he's referring to, it's them.
They don't give a shit about the people in Africa, Demore. That's the scam. They don't give a fuck about the people in Africa. They don't give a shit about you people in Africa. You people don't get, you guys don't got no real government. Government never represents the people in Africa. Never. Don't give a shit about no people in Africa.
I don't know why Kenyans are
Figure
not
that out.
seeing. They should be seeing through the lines. As simple as that headline is, Mudavadi compares rejecting finance bill to ejecting Ruto from the government. That is what it is. If you reject the finance bill, he might not be in power anymore, because what are we keeping you in power for if you can't drive a bill as simple as the one that we gave you? What do you mean that the 18-year-olds have made you not pass a
Exactly.
bill? What do you mean? Young kids and Gen Z did not, and people are even starting to read between the lines. And I understand his worries now. That is why he's even giving the green light to shooting protesters who have nothing but a bottle of water.
Yes.
He has to do what it takes for this
Exactly.
bill to pass. And it is going to pass. He's going to do everything to make sure
Exactly.
it passes. However, the fact remains that if that bill
It's gonna
passes,
pass, but
then
that
it's
doesn't make a
things
difference
might
when it
never get
passes. It doesn't make a difference whether it passes now because the revolution is already in motion. He's already sown the seeds of his own demise in all these puppets. Doesn't make a difference where it passes because whether it passes or doesn't, the information out there, too many people know what's going on now. The thing was always keep Africans backward and stupid. Come on, Ray. The way
I
I
was
control Africa keep you backward and stupid and tribal. That's breaking down. So even if it does pass, this is the demise of business as usual in Kenya. This is the demise of that shit.
And you know what even makes it sweeter is if it gets successful in Kenya, if it becomes successful in Kenya,
It's a domino
Ugandans
effect. Yeah, it's a domino
Ugandans
effect.
will look at it and be like, if Kenyans did it, I mean, we can also eject this old man.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a
So
domino effect. More. It becomes that's what they scared. I told you. Anything happens in Africa is like a domino falling. It's a domino effect. That's why they're scared as shit. Because even though you think you're different people, you're not. You have the same collective consciousness. You're the same people. If I showed you through DNA, you have the same collective consciousness. That's why they're scared to death. That's why they kept them fake borders up. But it doesn't matter. That's why I showed you the 100 monkey test. You
yeah,
got thousands of Kenyans out there. Every African is part of that Kenyan. Every African is the same collective consciousness. They know this. They studied this through science. So they're scared as shit. They're trying to put the genie back in the bottle in Kenya. Shoot their ass, terrorize them, scare them, whatever. But get that shit under control. But it's too late. The genie's out the bottle. Genie's out the bottle. It's going to be a domino effect all throughout Africa. It's going to be a domino effect. It's the hundred monkey test. You're
and
not going to be able to stop it.
a good morning to Michelle, who's with me. Hope you're having yourself an amazing morning, Michelle. And Jiba Jaba, who's saying they're scared of the 100th monkey.
Exactly. The 100
Yep.
monkey test going on right now.
And the hostility, I was talking about the hostility has already started. The hostility
Of
against
course.
the leaders who voted yes for the finance bill or any other politician. For example, there was this politician yesterday. He is the cabinet secretary of youth affairs. He tried addressing a certain group of people yesterday, like they are used to lying and, you know, spreading lies to the young people, and he could not believe it. So let me just share the video so that you see. This is
All
the
right.
sports cabinet secretary Ababu Namwamba. He was booed off stage yesterday as he tried.
Tell more lies. That's right. Don't work.
For a long time, our sector has been ignored. For a long time,
It is no longer a secret that President Ruto's regime is facing unprecedented opposition in the history of Kenyan administrations. Just hours after Ruto's MPs passed the Finance Bill 2024, the entire country views the president and his administration as traitors.
They were singing Ruto must go as his cabinet secretary was trying to lie to them. I don't know what
Yeah,
was.
I know. I heard him.
They allowed him to speak. So they started singing Ruto must go on his face.
Ruto's allies are already feeling the backlash for turning their backs on Kenyans. And it's clear that business as usual is over. And you can imagine all this is happening just 2 years into Ruto's ruling as president. And 5 years are not yet over. One prominent figure facing significant opposition is Sports CS Ababona Mwamba. He nearly went into hiding after being confronted by Kenyans during his speech at comedian Fred Omondi's tribute event at Carnival. When Namwamba was introduced to speak, he unknowingly walked into a hostile environment. He was forced to cut his speech short as the crowd chanted anti-Ruto slogans and booed him, despite comedian Churchill's attempt to calm the situation.
Where everybody has a right to say their bit. Asante sana, keep booing, keep cheering, keep saying no.
There's nobody cheering. There's nobody cheering for you. See, the thing that these African leaders have always done, they've been used to African people being scared and docile and ignorant. That's changing. They don't know what the fuck to do. That's why you got bagged out, bad dag mobs everywhere now. Just saying crazy shit. Because in the past, these morons have been saying all kind of crazy shit, and the African people didn't even understand that they were being lied to and told stupid shit. But now they do. Like I said, the cat's out the bag, and it's not going to go back in it. Go ahead.
Yep. There's something that I wish Kenyans would understand, and I wish more Kenyans would know. Members of parliament, the MPs that we have, are not leaders. If you look at the Kenyan constitution, it's very clear. 2010 constitution says the duties of a member of parliament is to 1, oversight, 2, legislate, 3 is to represent. He's not a leader, he's a representative. He's not supposed to lead you. He's supposed to represent you.
He's supposed to represent your interests, exactly. Not leaders. And as you guys see,
they are leaders. Problem. They think that they're supposed to lead the constituents into a decision. No, they are supposed to represent. They are representatives, not leaders.
Exactly.
So that is something.
See, but they know that they're not leaders. They know that the people have been poorly educated. They know they're not leaders. They know the people are poorly educated. That they don't know that these people are supposed to represent your interests. That's what they're there to do. And the funny part about it, you guys remember, they didn't even allow the Kenyan Senate into that damn parliamentary session. They didn't allow the Senate in there. But the American Congress was up in there. Those white people were up in there. So, go ahead. Furthermore.
So the difference between the two, between them being leaders and representatives, is for a representative, it doesn't matter what he thinks. It doesn't matter what he wants. He's supposed to do what you want. You are representative.
Exactly.
If you don't
represent you.
It doesn't matter whether he's supposed to fit or
That's
not.
his job.
Yep. A leader, if he was a leader, maybe he would lead you into something. But as a representative, it doesn't matter what you think about the bill. It doesn't matter whether it makes you happy or not. If we say no, it's a no.
Exactly.
Because we're supposed to represent.
Exactly. Exactly.
The problem is most Kenyans do not understand that, and they think they are leaders. They think members of parliament are leaders. They call them waheshimiwa, and they bootlick them a lot. Really, they bootlick them so much, and that is the
you can't blame the Kenyans, Jamor, for being uneducated. The government did that on purpose. You rule. It's always easy to rule, Jamor, an uneducated, ignorant people. Always. That's why you want most despots. Africans, they want their people ignorant because that benefits them. They want a motherfucker like you. Hey, you're not no leader. You're a representative. Hey, shut up. Tell that guy to shut up over there. They don't want people like you. They want an ignorant population, you can steal and rob and no have no development and just say crazy shit. You can be Baghdad Bob all day, every day. So that's what they want. Because you ask yourself, why is it any of these African countries, not one of them, got rid of the school fees, Demore? Because they know. Why is it Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, got rid of these fucking school fees? Not one, Demore. Not fucking one. Because they don't want you educated.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they want you ignorant like that so that they can always
Yes.
they can make use of that ignorance. And I know where the next step is going to be. As I think I understand this government, so I know what they're gonna do next. So now that the young people have also declared a war against the church, there's going to be a division in Kenya, a very big
Of
division,
course. Of
very
course.
very big. The division is gonna be between the young people and the
And the
old ones.
older. Of course. That's coming.
Now,
You got to divide and conquer to make yourself relevant and try to stay in power. You got to use divide and conquer. And you also you're gonna see this tomorrow. Watch this coming. I got to try to pit tribe against tribe. I got to start some tribal shit. That's gonna be coming too. Look what this tribe did with this tribe. Go ahead.
now that they know the tribal one won't work, they know that one will not work this time. They are sure of that. That was why they were pulling the KFC card yesterday.
Yeah, I
This
know.
one's taking down. They are now dividing us among KFC lines. You who take KFC and you who don't.
That was Baghdad Bob shit. That was complete asinine. That shit was absolutely stupid. They go look. They got white counselors behind the scene that's going to counsel these retarded ass niggas. These white people are going to tell them, this is what you do, what you're going to do. It's going to be some kind of tribal shit that's going to happen. Watch. Because they got the white people are going to be advising them behind the scene. They need to make a big tribal stink to separate the youth. The guy gets something done. Say one tribe, attack one tribe, and talk shit about one tribe. And then we're going to get it circled in the streets. We're going to pay some people to bring up rumors. So watch out. So that's coming.
Yeah, true. And from tomorrow now, the narrative is gonna change. We have not been giving them something to divide us with, but they're gonna get that tomorrow. You know how that is gonna happen? Kenya is a very religiously indoctrinated country. The older generation is washed
Kenya. Let's say Africa, goddammit.
Africa is religiously indoctrinated.
Yes.
Especially the older generation. So tomorrow, because we are going to occupy the churches tomorrow, when we occupy the churches tomorrow, now the narrative is going to be those people are even fighting against.
So what? It doesn't matter if you guys stick together. Doesn't matter. You're the majority. It doesn't matter. The millennials and the Gen Zs. Who gives a shit what old people think? Look at them fighting against the church. So what? Shut up.
Yep.
You're the majority. It don't make no difference. You're the strong majority. So I don't give a shit what no old people say about the church. Fuck them. So what? Let them say what they gonna say. Who cares?
I'll be here on Monday and I'll show you videos. I'm sure. I've not seen it, but I'm telling you, tomorrow they're gonna pray for us in those churches.
Of course. So what? Good. You can pray while we get power. You pray while we get power.
Yep. So now that they're happy that they're gonna get that division that is gonna divide the struggle between now those ones that go to church and those ones that don't, because they're gonna pull that. Those ones are fighting.
Half those old people in that church won't even make it in 2027. So who gives a shit? They'll be dead and stinking. So you pray, we'll grab power. Comes a time when the youth have got to dismiss the older people, like the youth did in the 60s in America. You got the youth in the 60s dismissed their parents. And where you get the Black Panthers and motherfuckers, the movements about fighting in the streets. Like, fuck mom and dad. They fucked up in their head. That's got to be done. So you don't make no apology was sweeping out the old shit. Sweep your ass out of here. You know, not all old people are stupid. So some old people will be with you. You know, so, and then you're still just the overwhelming majority. You're still the overwhelming majority. So makes
We
no
actually
difference.
have we actually even have some of those religious leaders. In as much as we have had some religious leaders over the course of history fight for example, let me share a video of one. His name was Reverend Joya. He really fought for Kenya's multi-party democracy. There was a time Kenya had only one party. It
What
was a
party? I know.
party. Yeah, so he fought
So,
for, this is a pastor, his name is Reverend Joya.
First
This one,
thing, I
he
was
was,
away by tear gas.
just watch the video.
Was removed from Kamukunji, not by being arrested, but by being tear gassed.
7th July 1990, Kenyans responded to a call made by politicians Kenneth Matiba and Charles Rubia and went to Kamkunji grounds to press for constitutional, political, legal, social, and economic reforms. Their rallying point was the demand for Kenya's return to political pluralism.
exactly, return to it because somebody had made one party rule like a Gandhi has, which is illegal. So you didn't live in any kind of democracy in Kenya. That was the scam. Hey, we don't got a separate party because they don't want one. They want to keep their cronies and their crooks in charge. So go ahead.
Management of public affairs after decades of oppression and bad governance by the then intransigent KANU regime, which had emasculated the civil and political rights of the ordinary people, denied press freedoms, and failed to embrace social and economic reforms to cushion majority poor. The 7/7/1990 call for democracy was first voiced by Reverend Timothy Njoya.
Yeah, so this is the pastor I'm talking about. He is a pastor, but really fought for even for the 2010 constitution. He was almost killed. You're gonna see in this video, he was close to being murdered by the police for doing that. So they are actually good. They're actually liberal.
Likened the collapse of the Berlin Wall to the collapse of all autocracies in the world.
The parliament was reconvened to talk about my sermon because it was more declared it is subversive. I recruited a Shahara from NFD, Sheikh Abdi. I decided to recruit not Christians only, to recruit everybody.
Here he is. That's the pastor in 1990 being beaten up for asking for. He started that multi-party revolution talk, and he was almost murdered on this day. They beat him up and broke almost all his bones. So we've actually had men who fought for, not many, I can't count them. I don't know of any other apart from this one. Most of them are puppets and industry.
The religious system is about control, Demore. It's not about any damn God and Jesus nonsense. It's about societal control. That's why they created the shit. About societal control and the manipulating of the mind of the masses. That's why they're not out there fighting for justice. until when they see you're about to win, then they'll show up. Hey, we're here. The church is here. We're with you. When they know you're finally gonna win and gain power, when they show up. Go ahead.
Standing on the same ground, he and Kenyans were brutally battered. The surrounding is crowded. The grounds are filled with overgrown grass, but the memories still stand.
So with Ibid and Bogwa, we went at the professional center to start the journey to Kamukunji. People are being beaten not to come, right in Kipera, right in Kawagware, the police were put everywhere. There are slums. It was not only here. It was happening in Nyahururu, in Nakuru, in Kisumu, the Sabasaba. It was widespread.
They may not have held the planned meeting, but just the repulsion by the police was enough message to make headlines all over the world and eventually to bring some change.
We wanted a new constitution, we have it. We wanted Motepate, we have it. You get me? What we wanted.
This guy can say he won in all the things that he wanted. He wanted multi-party, we got it, and he wanted a new constitution. We got that in 2010, which is a better constitution, a little better. It has a little more freedom than the previous one. That's why we can go to the streets and protest. Under the other one, the deaths would have been more than
exactly. You got this in 2010. All these fake constitutions. Why you keep making another constitution in Africa? All these countries, because they're not real constitutions. They're never to give the African people any freedom. It's to make you believe you live in a dictatorship, and all the money comes out of Africa goes to white people. The Africans were never supposed to know the hustle, the scam, because Africans are usually take a long time to get angry. Africans are living in poverty and despair for years and don't do shit. So eventually they gone too far, and that's the Kenyans probably say, God damn, enough is enough. But if you don't go too far, Africans will live in despair and poverty forever. Say, oh well, we got the Lord, we got Allah. And that,
Jabba is asking KFC versus Bushmeat. Who win? I'm betting on the KFC against the Bushmeat. In this KFC versus Bushmeat debate. And this says, don't trust anyone over 30. That was the slogan of the 60s hippie movement. Don't trust anyone over 30. Wow.
Yeah, you do remember that was the movement. It's called Don't Trust Anyone Over 30. That's right. Don't trust, back in the 60s, my mom, don't trust anyone over 30. That's right. That was their movement before I was even born. Don't trust anyone over 30. Y'all part of the fucked up system.
And so as we're gonna see how it's gonna, especially tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, because for me, I'm not even focusing more on the finance bill. In as much as it has some punitive taxes, it's just a very irrelevant part of the battle. I know the taxes can come, but it's a very small part of the battle. The bigger battle is against the system. So that is why I'm even looking forward more to tomorrow, the occupation of the churches and the war against the IMF. Kenyans spammed the IMF with emails until the IMF had to block all its email. None of the IMF emails.
Good.
They are all.
That's what you do.
Yep. They spammed IMF.
We know it's you. We know you're the one that's in charge and not this puppet ass Rudo. That's right.
So I love the bigger, how we're now going for the bigger fish rather than the MPs who are just, the MPs are just normal thieves. You should treat them like that. You know, they don't even have a say in this. They were they were paid. I hear they were paid 2 million shillings. That is what I hear.
Because they were paid and threatened tomorrow.
Yeah, they were paid 20,000, and every single MP was paid 20,000. The one who revealed that was saying that the payment was facilitated by the IMF. So one of the MPs is the one who said that they were paid 20,000 per MP. For you to say yes, you paid 20,000. But of course, with their big stomachs, they couldn't say no to 20,000. Didn't say no to 20,000. Really, 20,000 is quite a lot of money. Yep. So 20,000 to sell your
people in your country out. That's exactly that have no integrity whatsoever.
And the saddest part of all this was how greedy we are. For example, let me see if I can see a video. There's one specific MP whose daughter died of cancer last year. Whose 6-year-old daughter died of cancer last year. Let me see if I can find the video. And in the new finance bill, there is going to be an introduction of 16%.
Taxes on cancer.
And he was among the first people who said no, who said yes. They supported that.
Yeah. Okay.
His daughter died of cancer.
He don't care. Know what to do. He'll do it. Fight anything.
Is that is like failing even your daughter, even in her
Yeah.
grave.
You keep thinking these people know them. You're talking about the most despicable,
Uh-huh.
fucked up people that they put in power, Demore. Despicable.
I can't see the name of the. If I see that video, I'll share. But his daughter died of cancer last year, and he is the first people to say yes to the same, to yes to taxing 16% on cancer treatment. Let's tax everybody who's sick with cancer because, and if you want to know that this is more than a Kenyan document, it's more than. You don't even have to look further. There is another clause in the finance bill that will now see the revocation of title deeds. If you own a land, it's not gonna be your land.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
They'll be
leased.
leased. They'll be leased.
So that means in the next 20 years, somebody can end your lease. If the lease is 20 years, they
Yeah.
may refuse to renew your lease.
Right. All your ancestral land is gone.
Now,
This is the way white people come in and steal back the land.
yep. So that's why I'm saying this is more than a Kenyan document because the
Yeah.
this man Ruto is really
None of it is a Kenyan document. It's all outside. That's why when they were talking about it, they didn't know what the fuck it was even in the shit because they didn't write it. They didn't know. But yeah, the parliamentarians didn't even know what was in the shit. They didn't write it. The white man wrote that shit.
because it doesn't even add up. For example, putting the leases, that is even going to make the revenue from the okay, let's for ignorance sake
You know,
assume that Ruto is the one who the finance ministry is the one that wrote the
it's a
document. They are
no.
looking
It's a
for more money. For ignorance sake, let us just assume. So they are looking for
yeah,
more money. So leasing out the land is going to
the land grab.
yeah
The land grab.
right now as people have title deeds they pay a tax on the title deed every year, so that means
I
the
know.
government is making more money now than it will make from leasing the land. So it's not a money issue with the land. If it was, they would have just increased the land rates. There's something called the land rate that you pay every year
No,
on a land
it's a
deed.
land. It's a land grab.
Yep.
White people come back in, tell them we're going to take these lands. That's the best soil, and we want it. That's what
Yep,
this is
so
about.
they're just gonna say that we are not renewing your lease and you'll have nothing to say because it's not your
Exactly.
land anymore.
That's your land. Exactly.
So I like listening to Professor PLO Lumumba. So I saw a speech he did on how religion has been used to manipulate Africans into poverty. And I thought
Of course.
I, I could share it. So let
You can tell yourself it's better to be poor. It's better to be poor so you can go to heaven.
so,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
they,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so they once appointed this man for. So this man was once appointed the chair of anti-corruption commission
Anti
in Kenya.
corruption. And when he started doing something about it, they got rid of his ass. They threatened his life.
I actually remember his first speech. His first speech, he was talking about there are in this country there are bigger fish and small fish, but I'm going to fry them all in one pan, and they fried
That's
him.
right.
They
And
fried
they
him.
and he's right. They fired his ass because he was gonna get rid of he was gonna try to stop corruption for real. They say no, you dumb nigga. You just supposed to be a figurehead. You're not supposed to do anything for real. Fuck is wrong with you?
I've never seen literally. I've never seen Kenyan politicians unite as much as they united with this man.
Yeah,
We
to get
had
rid of
women,
him.
we had women MPs with messages of him asking for sex. We had other women MPs with messages of him asking for bribes. You know, they flooded the parliament with evidence of him asking for sex, for bribes.
All
He
kind
was
of lies.
fired in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, all kind of lies because he was gonna stop the free money that they were getting. The whole system, like every African country, the Demore, it's a criminal organization. It's not government. They're criminals. So he was coming to actually stop it and say, "Oh, we got to get this nigga out of here today."
at that time, it was almost like the Gen Z protest. There was no
That's
tribal
right.
issue. From that day,
That's right.
racism
That's
was
right.
peace. It was just all the whole parliament united against PLO.
We
And
gotta
they
get this
found
motherfucker out there now.
it's okay. I hate you. You are a Kikuyu, but for today, you're my brother. We have a common. And they got rid of him.
Yeah. And you notice he was never prosecuted because those were all lies.
Yeah,
They wanted to tarnish his reputation and get him out of there because he was exposing too much corruption in the first days of his damn job. Like, oh no, this motherfucker gotta go and gotta go now.
they were wondering, did he not get the job description? Part of the job
Exactly.
was you not doing anything. And
Right.
yeah, so here's what he had to say about the religious indoctrination in Africa, how religion has been used to manipulate Africans into poverty.
And that is not to be celebrated. It is to be frowned. The Bible is now the greatest instrument in creating false industries in the continent of Africa. And that is not to be celebrated. It is to be frowned upon. And we who claim to be Christians, and I normally use this very deliberately, we claim to be Christians. As to whether we are is another debate. We'll only discover that a little later when we are in heaven. And therefore, when we talk about rediscovering, we are saying that it was once discovered. But let us situate the Bible in its proper place. Christianity as we know it today in the continent of Africa was midwifed to us in the continent through Europe, through the missionaries.
Right.
When they came, they were reading the very same Bible that we are reading today. When they sat in Berlin and were dividing the continent of Africa, they were reading the same Bible that we are reading today. The same Bible in which, in Paul's letter to the Galatians at chapter 3:28, he says, there are no Jews, no Gentiles, no slave, no free, no woman, no man. They read that verse. It was not interpolated later after they came. They read it.
Oh, they also got the part that they read. Yeah, I pause that. They also read the part. They also read the part that said, "You niggas obey your masters. You're a slave. You do everything your masters say. But even if he beat the shit out you, you still worship him." That's in your goofy book too. So don't try to take some good shit.
Turn the other cheek.
Yeah, to the cheek while they beat you, whip your ass, and don't talk back to your master. That's in your dumbass book too. What dumbass God would ever said some shit like that? It's not no God.
They
That's
came here and discriminated against us. The same Bible.
yeah, you're doing it
They
now.
were being mentored by that very same Bible. They came here when they had divided the body of Christ. The English had appropriated the religion in 1534, and they now had their
Protestant
Anglican church
church.
complete with the monarch as its head. The Scots had appropriated their own, and they had the Presbyterian church. The Greeks had their Greek Orthodox. The Armenians, the Armenian Orthodox. The Roman Catholics were even bolder. They called it the Roman Catholic Church. So that even when they are in Uganda, it's not Ugandan Catholic Church, it is the Roman
That's the
Catholic
beginning.
Church. You are going there and you are saying you are Roman Catholic Church. In apartheid South Africa, they are the Dutch Reformed Church, which became the foundation stone upon which apartheid was articulated in 1948 by Hendrik Verwoerd and his cohorts. So the Bible has been misused. Don't be cheated. Let's not be nice to each other because we are Christians.
It ain't been
The
misused. It's been
Bible
used.
has been
See, he
used.
wants to keep the Christians. No, it's not
It
been
has
used.
been.
It has not been misused. It's always been used that way. Let's get the shit right. I hate people with this fake ass. It's been misused. It's not been misused. From its inception, it was used for power. As Constantine, who created your fake religion, said it. I create this religion for conquest. It's not been misused. They knew it
It's
was
been
lies when they were making it up.
mhm.
Talking about it
It's
ain't been misused. They knew it was lies when they was making the shit up.
mhm.
They made the book up. They knew it was lies in the beginning. So the idea to say it's misused is a lie. See, that's why I'm always dubious with Negroes like Apilo Lumumba. They misused it. They did not. Islam has not been misused. Christianity has not been misused. They were used for conquest when they created the shit. That's just a fact. Shit, that's what Constantine told you. I create this religion in the name of conquest. That's the fact. He wrote the goofy book in conquest. But these religions, hold on, wait, say pause that real quick. Open this tab up. Say, put this up.
Okay.
Say, Constantine the Great says he creates Christianity in the name of conquest. Say, Constantine the Great says he creates Christianity in the name of conquest. You think he killed his goddamn son and his wife who wouldn't accept his stupid religion because they didn't want to believe it if they misread it? No, I create this shit for conquest, not misused. What are you talking about?
Yep, I see it. The Battle of the Milvian Ridge in 312
Yeah,
led directly to Constantine's conversion. He prayed to the Christian god and saw a Chiro and the words in hoc sino vinces, or by this sign conquer. He credited his
yeah.
victory to the Christian
And
god.
I don't think it wasn't the Christian God yet because he didn't create the religion yet.
Mhm.
He was taking the African thing of Christ, meaning you as a person gaining Christ-like consciousness. He said, "Yeah, I like that. I need to make a whole religion out of this shit for conquest. God damn it, controlling people's minds. Not that shit Philo Lumumba talking about. It was misused. Ain't never been misused." Go ahead, Jamal. You got it.
By this sign conquer. That is
Yeah. And then
Constantine.
it's always been a thing of conquest, Demore. When they created it, nobody misused this shit. It's about conquest, controlling the mind.
And
Because you stupid and want to believe it now. In the beginning, it was about conquest. That's what it is. We go ahead.
Jiba Jaba is telling me the cross is actually a down an upside down sword showing conquest.
Yeah, it's conquest. But these goofy people that want to stay Christians don't know any history about the shit. It's about conquest. Not about no religion. It's to control your mind. The dumb shit. There's never no space. There's never
Used to
no.
support
I'm going.
slavery. It has been used to support colonization. It has
Third,
been used to pervert the truth. That is the Bible that we
that's
are
why it was
saying
created.
we ought to rediscover. So when we are gathered here as Christians and we are talking about rediscovery of
Covering
mentorship
what?
in the Bible, we must have a spirit that is a questioning spirit.
You can't question
When
it because
this
it's a lie.
religion
So you're
was
talking about questioning. If you question
teaching,
it, if you question it, you're going to come to the conclusion it's a lie, and so that'll get you out of the Christianity because it's a lie. So your whole argument is ridiculous. Going around in circles. It was a religion created for conquest. That's a fact. Not about any loving God type shit. So, Christianity wasn't created by Jesus Christ, created by Constantine. Sorry. So,
Too, as we
um,
said,
go ahead.
we must always be nice before we are good. Not always. And I've always talked about two approaches to be found in the Bible. One is of John the Baptist and Herodias. It's a dangerous path where you go out into the public and condemn evil. The only thing that you must know is that when you follow that path, Salome will ask for your head. But there are circumstances when it is necessary. Then there are circumstances when it is necessary to follow the path that His grace has suggested. Read the conversation between Nathan and David and what he did to the wife of Prophet Uriah. He comes and tells him, in this place there was a person who had a lamb. Circumstances define which method you use.
He's naming all these people that never. He's naming all these people that didn't even exist.
Where as Christians,
He's naming all these people that didn't exist. See, that's what he's naming all these people that never even existed. And a name and this and David. These people are cartoon characters. They never existed. Never. Not one. And, you know.
I'm waiting to hear whether you want to talk about how it has been. The title was "Religion has been used to manipulate Africans into poverty." So I wanna hear whether he's gonna get to that.
Yeah, he's gonna get to it eventually. They're gonna keep going through characters and shit. You can't say it's used to manipulate Africans and then stay in the religion. Go ahead.
I read the Bible sometimes as a Christian. I ask myself, what kind of Christian would I be? I often ask myself, if I lived in the days of Jesus, which of these disciples would I be? Because let us ask ourselves,
you would be none of them because they never existed, moron.
In fact, if you read the Bible and the history of Christianity and how we were first called Christians in Antioch, it was not a badge of honor to be called a Christian. It was not a badge of honor. It was a statement that these individuals who follow somebody whom we do not respect, whose ideas we do not respect, then we embrace it. But do we question that as Christians? When we are reading the Bible, do we read the Bible?
Malcolm X, this nigga is not. Malcolm X, he is not. God damn. Go ahead. He'll put you to sleep when you get to the damn point.
Despite your best efforts and best intentions.
Damn.
I normally ask this test question to my audience rather lately.
I'm with Joby, boy. I can't take him out of his ass, boy. God damn.
Read the Bible. When you read the book of
he might never get to the point.
He might never get to the point. Exactly. Malcolm X told you, nigga, make it plain. God dang it, speak about 40 minutes till you get to the damn shit hurt. And Malcolm and Isaac, oh, god damn. Shit.
But
I'm out. I'm out.
I came to learn that Malcolm X was a Muslim.
Yeah, he became a Muslim, but he was getting rid of the Muslim. He died too young to evolve. He wasn't a Muslim in the beginning. He wasn't even what you call a complete Muslim. He was a Nation of Islam follower. He was evolving. First, he was not. He was a Christian, of course, growing up, because his dad was a reverend, a preacher, who the white people killed, murdered. And then, as he got in prison for being a hustler and shit, the Nation of Islam came to him, and they started following that. And then when that became fucked up, he went completely to the Islam thing. But he was involved, and he passed that. He started becoming a Pan-African. So he didn't get a chance about they already assassinated because he's dead. They're not going to assassinate that nigga. He's too damn tough. And when the things come. You understand? They murdered Malcolm X. How old that PLO Lumumba dude? Like 60? They murdered Malcolm X when he just turned 35. They just turned 35 tomorrow. They murdered him because they knew he was evolving past that Islam shit. He was constantly evolving, learning. So that would have failed. He was talking about being African. You know, he gonna tell you. He was gonna tell you. And then I seen John Malcolm X gonna say, "Hey, this cracker ain't no damn good. He's rotten and fucked up."
was done with him. He was saying, get to the point.
No shit.
This professor, your house will be burning and you'll burn inside as he's telling you your house.
Yeah, get out. One day your house is going to burn down. It's burning. It's burning down, nigga. One day you're gonna figure that your house is burning down. And what will you do? How about you bring me some damn water? God damn. Shit. I agree with Joby. His ass is too long-winded. Joby does him better than anybody. Joby does his damn Joby does the damn impersonation of his ass better than anything. And I know this thing. God damn. When he give a speech, just give me a gun, let me shoot myself in the head. Shit.
Good luck asking for the gun from him. He's gonna start telling you when they.
You know, and then Moses said to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then Moses said, "I'm here to talk to you about my people." And Pharaoh said, "God damn, how long? God damn shit!" And this motherfucker an hour and a half, he still ain't got to the goddamn point. Pull up.
Beloved brothers
and
sisters and friends of our radio audience, welcome to our weekly broadcast, Mr. Muhammad Speaks. This is the only weekly radio program in America that teaches the Muslim religion, the age-old religion, the religion of our forefathers.
He was preaching?
Yeah, he was a minister. You forgot that Malcolm X was a minister.
Wow.
See, you didn't know that. Yeah, he was a minister, but he was evolving past that. So he's like, so at that time he was still with Mr. Muhammad. That's who helped the government kill his ass. The Mr. Muhammad he talking about. He's the one helped that killed his ass. He's one of the no good bastards that helped kill his ass. That Mr. Muhammad motherfucker he talking about. His own disciple, who you see on YouTube and TikTok like Louis Farrakhan, consorted with the government to kill him. So his own disciple killed his ass. His own apprentice killed him. But you see it today, Louis Farrakhan. His own apprentice had helped kill him because he left them and was becoming too big, and also was he was talking about what Pan-Africanism, being an African. That's the most important thing. Not this fucking religion. Pan-Africanism. That's why if you go say, so go to YouTube and say, because he was in Kenya too, say Malcolm X meets with African leaders. He was in Kenya.
I actually know he met with a Kenyan, Pio Gamapinto, who was Pio Gamapinto was killed on the same day.
Yeah, he was killed. Yeah, that was like an Indian guy, I think. Yeah, killed the same day.
A black Indian. They started like that.
Yeah, like a black Indian. So
Malcolm X was killed.
Yeah, because they would talk about Pan-African when Africa was just getting free. That was dangerous. White man was losing control of Africa. So Malcolm X was evolving past all that other religious shit. He said that we gotta be Pan-African. We gotta run this country. We all fucked up. We gotta get together as brothers again. White man has divided us with bullshit, he was saying. That's they said, oh no, time to kill his ass. He gotta go.
But not many people actually even know of Pio Gamapinto. He's never taught in any history classes. So
because they're not. You're not gonna know exactly. Important people they're gonna keep hidden. They don't want you to know nothing about that man. Shit. And that's why they ain't want you to know nothing about Malcolm X either. They want to give you Martin Luther King shit. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. They ain't want you to know about no fucking Malcolm X. He's the real thing. Shit. Malcolm X was supposed to be not known. He wasn't supposed to know shit about no Malcolm X.
Wednesday marked 56 years since the day Pio Gama Pinto was assassinated outside his Westlands home. The journalist, trade unionist, and freedom fighter is remembered for his impassioned political views, which inevitably cost him his life. Tonight, on the National Reminder, Victoria Rubadiri revisits the fateful day and the defining moments.
And it wasn't the Kenyans that killed him. They had no power. You know,
to be properly investigated.
Investigated. The CIA killed his ass. The CIA killed him.
On February 24th, 1965, 38-year-old Pio Gama Pinto was shot dead in his car while driving out of his Westlands home. A journalist, a trade unionist, and freedom fighter, Pinto was the first post-independence victim of assassination in Kenya. It was back in the 1940s when a young Pinto joined trade union politics. Now, during the state of emergency in 1952, he mobilized resources for the Mau Mau in Nairobi. 2 years later, in 1954, the British authorities arrested and deported him to Manda Island, after which he was moved to Rift Valley Province. He was freed in 1959 and he promptly flung himself back into politics. Not soon after, Pinto would establish Sauti ya KANU, a newspaper for the Kenya African National Union, or KANU, in 1960. The newspaper later became Pan-African Press. Pinto continued his political activities, acting as a crucial campaigner for KANU in the 1961 elections, which the party won. And to reward his prominent role in the fight for independence, Pinto was elected a member of the Central Legislative Assembly in 1963. His brainchild, the Lumumba Institute, was established in 1964 to train KANU officials on political ideology and administration. It was later perceived by the Western-leaning politicians as a training ground for communism
as a
in Kenya.
Communism as a threat. They always use the communism shit, not communism, as equal thing for black people, brown people. It's gonna be equality and people actually having good jobs and all the money going to white people. That's always a threat. That's a threat. Go ahead.
And all the best being for starting an institution and calling it the Lumumba Institute. 2 years after Lumumba, of course they were gonna come for him too. It was 2 years.
Of course. That's why I told you. That's why I told you with this movement here. When you start doing this, they're gonna be coming. So you can't have cowards. The youth, you need to realize you're dealing with real politics now. They're gonna be coming to kill you. You're dealing with white people who stole. Without Africa, the world is impoverished. See, all these little Chinese people and white people and Arab people, all their wealth is made from Africa and stealing from you. But they play hardball. They don't hear nobody giving no long ass. And the Bible said, motherfucker, they had war. I don't want all these long ass dumb speeches about no Bible. Go ahead.
Threats to his life, Pinto refused to flee the country, and in 1965, he was assassinated at the gate of his home in Westlands. One Kisilu Mutua was charged with Pinto's murder and sentenced to death. Now, after serving 36 years in jail, President Moi pardoned Mutua and ordered his release on July 4th, 2001. And in May 2017, the High Court awarded a 74-year-old Mutua 2.5 million shillings for being tortured while in police custody.
Yeah, because they know he wasn't guilty. That's what they do. The CIA get a fall guy, put him in prison. The Kenya was already corrupt, controlled by them. So they can put an innocent black motherfucker in prison for 36 years. Yeah, that's what they did with the people that They killed Malcolm X on the same day. They got two fake people. They know it was the CIA, FBI, and helped with the Nation of Islam kill his ass. They arrested two innocent people. They had them in jail for like 30 some years. Or 25, whatever it was. That's what they can do. That's when you control countries. Hell. So they can put him in prison. Man, no, they knew that man was innocent. CIA put his ass in prison. This is about white power, money, wealth, and control of the planet. So,
and that was in 1965. What could he have done? There was nothing he could have done.
Nothing.
They came and put him
nothing. Nothing can do because the whole country was corrupt. Kenya was set up as a thief. He had Jomo in power. He's a puppet. He'll do what the fuck he's told to do. You think Jomo Kenyatta ran Kenya? Are you crazy? Shit. CIA ran Kenya. Like it ran Ghana. Hell yeah. That's when they took Kwame Nkrumah. Shit, the office of the CIA was right there in Ghana when they overthrew his ass. They went in outside the country. Shit, I can tell you now, shit. Kenya's right now. You think the CIA ain't running around Kenya in these damn protests that are happening? They're out there with their black flunkies monitoring what the fuck is going on with their black puppets.
Georgia boy, you got it. A few years earlier, though, in May 2013, the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission urged the Kenyatta and Moi governments to take responsibility for the political assassinations of the late Pio Gama Pinto, Tom Mboya, J.M. Kariuki, and Robert Ouko.
So one funny thing about this list is Tom Mboya and Ouko, the two of the people in this list were airlifted out of Kenya in 1959. It was the Kennedy airlift taken there for
exactly to be educated more, like you said. Exactly.
Yeah. But when they came back, they did the right thing and they did the right thing and they were murdered. I mean, they're lifted and taken there to be taught all those things, to be indoctrinated, to be taught lies, so that they can come back to Kenya and Africa and go on with the white agenda. They did the right thing. Somebody like Tom Mboya was a good man, a Pan-African, a true Pan-African. That's why he was married.
In report
with
that
Ouko, he was. So Ouko was. They claimed Ouko shot himself and then set himself on fire. He must be a very great man because that is what the government.
It's so absurd. He shot himself, then he set himself on fire. God, he's some kind of damn magician.
Because when they found his body in Nakuru. He had his eyes gouged out. He was shot and he had been burnt. But they say it was suicide. So I don't know which one he started with. But they say
it's not. Here's what the fuck they say. It's not suicide. Shit. Fuck what they said. Murder. They killed him. So they're dealing with white power. Mm-hmm. White power is ruthless. They've stolen the world and they claim to keep it. They mean to keep what they've stolen.
So that's why I agree with you when you say there was no indoctrination. They were just greedy people because Tom Mboya was taken to the same place that the likes of Jonjo were taken. But when he came back, he knew what was the right thing to do, despite the airlift, and he did the right thing. The Kenyattas and the others knew what the right thing to do was, but chose to be greedy.
Exactly, Demore.
So there is nothing like indoctrination. They were just told, but they knew deep inside what was the right thing to do. They just didn't want to do it because of create wealth for their families and everything.
Exactly. I want to be the big man in Kenya. I want to be till I'm a president, and I want to make money and fuck the other Africans. It's about people with integrity. Same way. Go ahead.
Let me tell you about the third man on this list. His name is J.M. Kariuki. So this one was murdered for the most ridiculous reason. So he always used to go against the law 1 of the 48 laws of power, that they never outshine your master law. So he used to outshine Kenyatta so much. He was an MP at that time, and therefore he had money. So for example, he donated a big tract of land somewhere in Nyandarua. There's a place called JM Kariuki, a whole area called after his name because he gave that land. So there was one time he went for a harambe, and a harambe is a fundraising. We call it harambe, a fundraiser. And I think Kenyatta donated 1 million. He donated 3 million, and that angered Kenyatta so much. Like,
What's the
how can you donate more money than the president? You know?
yeah, that's
And
true because that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about people, Demore, who are who are goddamn childlike and psychopathic. Who would get mad about some shit like that? Only a goddamn fucking psychopath, a egomaniacal maniac, and that's who they're putting in power. That's why Kenyatta was chosen. He was an egomaniacal maniac. He didn't give a fuck about no Kenyan people.
so they planned
That's
to kill him 3 times. The first time they planned to kill him, they planted a bomb in a bus that he was using to go to Mombasa. Luckily, he knew so many people even in the police, so they told him,
I told him.
Don't bus today, you're gonna die." And that day, the bomb blast went and it killed everybody on that bus. The second time, when they killed him, it was not even the day he was supposed to be murdered. He was called to State House to go and answer on why he was showing off. They call that showing off. Why are you giving more money than the president? Why are you helping people?
Sure.
We do
Well,
not do that.
exactly. Why are you helping people? You
Yep.
talk. These are fiefdoms, fam.
And so the story goes,
So
he had a friend.
ridiculous.
He had a friend in the police who was a very senior person in the police. So
Hmm.
when he told his friend that he had been summoned to State House, the friend gave him a gun and told him, just carry this one just in case of anything. So he gave him a gun. So when he
Hmm.
went to State House, the friend who gave him the gun was also present in that meeting because he was a senior police boss, and he had told him not to use the gun unless necessary. It was just as a precautionary measure. So the other one of the other police bosses slapped JM Kariuki. So he asked him, "Why are you showing off in front of people? Do you want to be the president?" He slapped him on the face. And JM, being somebody who had fought in the World War, he had fought in the
Hmm.
war. So he reached out for his gun because, "Why are you slapping me?" So he reached out for the gun that the friend had given him. And the friend was standing next to the door. And he knew that if JM pulls out the gun and uses it, then the president is going to ask, "How did this man get the gun?" And he's going to be the one in trouble. So he shot him first in the head and killed him. So he was killed by his friend because the friend did not want him to use the gun that he
God
gave him.
damn. Why you give me the gun? What? I'm talking about some listen, boy. You're talking about some goddamn backward ass, cowardly motherfuckers. Don't give me the gun then. You go kind of free. What? You want to go? I want to get. My God.
So that's what happened. The friend
With friends
on
like
his
that,
own.
with friends like that, you don't need enemies, boy.
So he was later interviewed many years later, and he was the one who was saying that his biggest fear was if he had removed the gun and shot the police who slapped him was President Kenyatta's closest friend. So the
But
gun
oh,
was
it's
in,
good. All,
yeah,
all these governments are based on graft, goddamn nepotism, and
yep,
fucking idiotic nonsense. They're not even governments. The child, yes, the more is explaining like kids in elementary school. That's why the African gets no fucking goddamn fucking respect. He's telling me some elementary shit. You know, he was his best friend. He was there why you slapped my best friend, and then if you want to be the president, why you give more money than the president?
yep.
What? You're talking about a bunch of fucking
Why are you
more.
becoming more
You're
people?
talking you're talking about grown ass morons.
Yeah, so that is how JM Kariuki died. Pio Gamapinto was murdered. Tomboya was murdered.
JM Karaoke.
Roberto Uko was the one that they said he committed suicide, gouged out his eyes and put himself on fire. Shot himself, gouged his eyes, put himself on fire.
Poked his eyes out, shot himself, and then placed himself on fire. You
Yep.
talking about you talking about corruption on a level that's absolutely like cartoonish. Because Kenya, like every African country, has never been any democracy. They were fiefdoms put there by Europe, They're criminal organizations. They're criminal. And
So for
that's
those,
what the youth is, that's what's going on in Africa right now. They're trying to now get rid of the criminality in Africa. And that's what's happening. You got 60 years of criminality put there by the Europeans to keep stealing. That's why Ghana's fucked up, Nigeria's fucked up, Zambia's fucked up, Zimbabwe's fucked up, Congo's fucked up.
South
Goddamn,
Africa, South Africa with the white
South
people.
Africa's fucked up.
Yep.
Motherfucking Botswana's fucked up. Namibia's fucked up. It's the same old copy and paste shit all throughout the
If you
tribal
look at
shit.
mm,
Crazy.
if you look at the trend for everybody who was they are lifted for the Kennedy airlift, not just in Kenya, in Ghana they are lifted Kwame Nkrumah, in South Africa they are lifted people,
Yeah,
they are lifted
yeah,
some
it's
folks.
the same thing. Look,
They are
look, look. The president who's there right now, the no good motherfucking Kofi Adata doodle stupid ass. His father helped the CIA overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. This fucking moron. And when people tell me, "Oh, he's a great," I said, "This nigga is corrupt and fucked up." But people got mad at me because he could speak good. He's a good orator. I said, "You dumbass niggas. This motherfucker's a fucking moron, and he's a wicked fat ass puppet. You fat motherfucker." So, ideal. Now everybody knows he's corrupt now. You should have known it in the beginning. So lineage is fucked up. Just like you see the same shit in Kenya, the same shit happened in Ghana, same shit happened in Nigeria. It's the same shit over and over again. So this motherfucker's down the president, and they know his family was responsible for overthrowing Kwame Nkrumah. His daddy, this fat bastard's family worked directly with the CIA.
So for everybody who was they are lifted, there are only two paths. It's either you became a billionaire or you are dead. Those are the only two paths. Either you became greedy and became a billionaire or you were murdered. Unfortunately for the four of them, they chose the second path. They chose
It was really dangerous back then because you understand that African consciousness, Dr. Moray. You understand these people have been subjugated. Most of them were stupid. So imagine you growing up under the British, and most of you're indoctrinated. You think at first back then you really thought the white man was better than you. You really had no real education. So you were always dangerous because they would give you any kind of little trinkets that all Africans were fucking mostly impoverished. So they said, "Oh, we're gonna make you big, we're gonna give you money, we're gonna make you part of the government." Like, hell yeah! I don't have to live all fucked up like the other Africans. So, you're not really having integrity, and you didn't really know how to work. You think Jomo and the motherfuckers knew how to war work? No, they were morons. You think these first African leaders knew anything how the world works? Fuck no, they were idiots. Imagine these motherfuckers, shit, being put in power. These were idiots. So then so that's why they got the common jealousy thing. He imagine you gave more money than the president. Like, what? Are you for real? Yes. And then you get slapped in the face. You know how childish this is? You're fucking with grown children, grown morons. But that's what your first leaders were. You got to understand, coming out of a system where they were always subjugated. These are idiots taking power. These are idiots. These are grown children. So, shit. That's the kind of shit that's got to be taught to the Africans. These are grown children that first led Africa. Grown children. Shit. So he gonna slap me because I donated more. It don't make any sense. You donated more than the president.
and get a slap on the face.
And I get slapped and I get shot in the head by some friend who's supposed to give me a gun to protect myself. Like, what?
Yeah.
And when he admitted that, did he go to prison for shooting the guy in the head? Of course not.
No, that's not enough.
Yeah, because these are called banana republics on purpose. It's a banana republic, not a real country. And that's what the youth are trying to bring to Kenya and the countries now. A real country controlled by the rule of law, not the rule of nepotism, the rule of the puppet, the rule of these corrupt ass criminals that were put in power and their families 60 years ago.
But
That's what's going on.
some of the people who were lifted, they became extremely stupid, for lack of a better word. An example was Kenya's.
Extremely
His name was
stupid.
Charles Jonjo. I don't know if you've heard of Charles Jonjo.
Nah, I
Charles
haven't
Jonjo,
heard of it.
yeah, he was a man who was also lifted during that time. When he came back, he never used to greet black people. He never used to wear. He never used to wear suits. Let me show you, just in
He
case
didn't
things are
become, he
not.
didn't become extremely stupid. He became extremely racist. They said we're gonna put you in power, and you black people are stupid, and be glad that we're not gonna let you be with the rest of these poor ass niggas. We're gonna let you, and everybody in Africa's got that big man complex. I'm gonna be the big man. See, that's what the complex got that dude killed because Kenyatta's got to be the big man. It's some childish ass shit. Hey, you mean to tell me you
Yeah, so
donated more than the big man? What?
so this man right here, after he went, I'm gonna finish with this video in a minute. After he was airlifted, when he came back, one, he would never wear clothes that had been made by African tailors. Never. His clothes would be imported. All of his suits were imported. He would
He didn't
not
get he
greet
didn't get stupid. He
people.
got more indoctrinated. Now he really did get indoctrinated. He was told that white people are better. We're putting you up here, and you people have always been uncivilized and fucked up.
So in his whole life, he never went past. There is a certain section of Nairobi that separates the uptown and the downtown. So he never went to downtown Nairobi in his whole life. He had his house somewhere in Kabete that he had fenced it, and he never used to socialize with black people. He used to think he was
Of
he used to
course, as I told you, he's completely indoctrinated. They told him, listen, retarded nigga, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put you in power, and your black people really fucked up, and some of them accept that indoctrination. It's not that he's indoctrinated. He accepted it. He liked it. We got coon. Some niggas are just coons, Demore. Some niggas are just coon. He's a coon. Some niggas, no matter what you do, he's a coon. He is a coon. There's nothing you can do about it. Some niggas are coon. It just is.
Good to condole with families of deceased persons. It is always good and important that we also try not to distort history.
So this is a man describing. This is when he died. He died a few years ago. So this was a
About
man.
history. And I
Yeah.
bet he felt disgusted. I bet he felt disgusted speaking Swahili. Oh no, Swahili, no, that's beneath me. God damn it.
He used to call himself the Duke of Kabete because he lived in Kabete. He called himself
He's
the Duke.
the Duke. this is a delusional Negro, ready?
But he was very rich. So here is one of the
Of
people
course,
who
of
trying
course
to
they were
describe.
rich. Europeans always make these delusional Negroes rich. Of
Yeah,
course,
he was,
you can't show me shit he invented. Can't show me no business he created from scratch. Can't show me shit. That money came from white people, Demore. So it always happens. These delusional ass Negroes.
History is important so that our children will not repeat the mistakes that their parents and others made.
Like you?
Horace Mini will glorify Charles Jonjo.
this is not him. This is a man who,
Okay.
when he died, everybody was praising him, saying what a good man he was. This one chose to talk the truth.
As a hardworking attorney general and a
Truth teller.
reformist. I don't want to be hypocritical. And I state this. Charles George did a lot of damage to this country when he was serving as Attorney General. One which is important, Charles George cannot be described as a reformist because he destroyed institutions. Charles George was against Africanization.
He's a puppet. That's why he was put there.
He oppressed African lawyers, the Black Bar, frustrated African lawyers, and glorified Wazungus.
Of
The
course.
judiciary was the last to be Africanized.
Is that, and it's still, he was probably one of the reasons why these goofy niggas got that shit on their head. So, he didn't want no Africanized. That's why these niggas in Kenya run around with white wigs on their head.
And imagine now this man was the first attorney general of the country, and
yeah, no shit. God damn. He didn't want to Africanize no court. We must keep British rule and British honor. Nigga, you not British. Yes, I am. I'm British. I'm a black Brit.
I'm a duke, black duke. Come on.
I'm the Duke. I'm the Duke of nothing.
That is why he himself, although not acceptable, he was a Briton according. He is only the blood that he regretted. In effect, at one time, he said he regrets why he was born a Kikuyu. So this is a man that I feel that there is a lot of
He said he was a Briton. It was only the blood that was black, and he regretted being born African. He was.
I told you. I know it. I didn't even know that about this guy. I said it. I knew it. I didn't know. As the first I learned about this guy, I knew it. I knew this was an Uncle Tom Coon. I'm British. You dirty niggas. I knew it. You always got that every country in Africa from in the 1960s had one of these niggas that Demore's talking about. You had 2 or 3 of these goofy niggas who loved being bootlicked for white people. Loved it. I'm British. I'm so sad. I was born a wretched nigga with the rest of you Kenyan niggas. God damn it.
This man
We're not having.
He identified as a white man in 1960. He was identifying as white.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I'm a white man. Damn right. You better get it right too. I'm the Duke of nonsense, nigga. I'm a proud house nigga. I'm a proud house nigga. That's right. Proud. like Malcolm X said, we got some house niggas walking around here today. That's right. And that's one of them always showing us right there. Proud.
We say, oh, he was hardworking. He prayed this to be able to associate to associate himself with those. Charles George used his office, right, to settle scores with many victims, many forthright people, and particularly those who are nationalists. Look, for example, Waruru Kanja was put in prison just because he had a few dollars in exchange control. He offended exchange control regulations then, but it was not justifiable for him to be put in prison. Achuru Kapila, the one who defended Jomo Kenyatta, again, with a few dollars from Churchill's, he was put in just because of a few dollars, maybe $100 or $200. Then Charles Jonjo cannot exonerate himself from the murder of Tom Mboya.
Wow, I never knew he was involved also in the murder of the people I was telling you about. The likes of Tom Mboya, who at that time Kenyatta perceived them as enemies. They were enemies to the Kenyatta regime because they were national. They were people.
They were nationalists. Exactly. They're the ones that actually fought to free Kenya from the British. They were nationalists. They didn't want to be tribal. They were nationalists. So they wanted a free Kenya, not a free Kikuyu, not a free Lua, not a free Kamba. They were nationalists. So the British didn't want that. You know the CIA did not want no shit like that. So that's why they were murdered or set up to be murdered. Yeah, no shit. And he was a willing tool to do it. Told you, always got these African puppet niggas, boy. Whether it be in America, we always got house niggas. Always. Our major problem, we got house Negroes lurking every damn where. I'm British. I don't want to be black. Right there. He shouldn't have held no office in Kenya. But Kenya was set up as a fiefdom with Jomo and they wicked asses. Right there, he should have been deposed. Get your ass out of here. Crazy.
For somebody like Tom Mboya, it could not. If I tell you the reason why one of the others was murdered, you would think I'm lying. Ouko, was the one who they said shot himself and set himself on fire. So the story goes, he flew outside the country with the president back then. And so when they went to the UK, if I'm not wrong, and so the president was trying to talk to whoever they found there. I don't remember the name. Was it? I don't know if it was the king. I don't remember, or the queen. And so the queen or whoever it was not understanding what the president was saying. So he told the president to shut up, let this one speak, because
Yeah.
Ouko was a very good.
He was a better orator. Yeah, because Jomo was an idiot. Yeah, he's a better. So they killed him because he was jealous because the queen said I can understand him better because his English was better. He was a better an orator. His orator skills are better.
Yeah, they told the president, "You shut up, let this one speak to me. I can't understand you."
Can understand you, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you to shut up because I own you. You're my puppet. I can tell you to shut the fuck up. That's right. Go ahead, Demore. Of course, he got upset.
That made him so upset that when Ouko came back to Kenya, he committed suicide and put himself on fire after that trip. So, that is how they said it happened.
He committed suicide. I told you, Demore. You got these moronic ass children.
Yeah.
So this ego maniacal maniac, Jomo Kenyatta, got upset because the man spoke better English than him. He wasn't the one told Jomo to shut up. The queen did. Shut up, nigga. I want to hear him. He talks better than you. So he goes back to Kenya with a grudge and murders this man.
It was actually in Washington. The trip was in Washington. I've just checked it on Google.
Okay, it was the one. So the president told him to shut the fuck up.
Yep. So there were 3 of them. It was the president, Dr. Ouko, and another man called Biwott. So the problem was.
What year was that, Demore? So I know the president was. It was either Johnson or Kennedy.
Ouko was not murdered during Kenyatta's time. It was during Moi's time. It was in.
Moi. Okay, it was Moi then. Yeah. So what year was that? 1980 something?
1990. It was in 1990.
Okay, so that was racist as George Bush Senior, the first George Bush. So yeah, man, shut up.
Yeah, I know. What was the president? Bush. Bush was the president.
Yeah, George Bush. The first George Bush, not his son. His son became president 10 years later. So George Bush Senior was president.
So here is what caused his death. So he's the one that is speaking right there. His name was Dr. Ouko, and the one sitting down is President Moi, and it was in 1990s. It looks like Moi was the one who was supposed to speak, but Bush was not getting what he was saying. He did not get what he was saying. So he told him, "You sit down, let this other man speak."
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. White people are gonna be dismissive. You can't get mad about him. But white people don't want to listen to you. You don't know what the fuck you saying. Long as like, hey man, hey. This guy seems like he knows how to talk. You sit down, shut the fuck up.
It wasn't even his fault, man.
I know, but see, exactly. But said these leaders are not leaders. These leaders are fucking maniacal. They got the ego maniacal because they never really had any elections. They have absolute power in Africa. So then I like, oh my God, you embarrassed me in front of the white man. So he couldn't he embarrassed in front of the white man too? Shit, man. He like, hey, I didn't embarrass you. The white man told you to, he couldn't understand you, not me. Shit. But still, they're going to look at that as a slight because it's childish, Demore. You're talking about grown ass kids, Demore, that's been running Africa for 60 years. Grown ass children. Idiots.
Imagine losing your life because you speak better English than the
president. Yeah. We're talking
I mean,
about children.
it's not my fault you are an idiot.
Exactly. It's not your fault. But still, but I'm egomaniacal. You know, shit. You know, and that's what you're dealing with. That's why they're so mad. So you know the egomaniacal. They've had no rules. That's why they got. That's why you got Baghdad Bobs up in Kenya just saying crazy stuff to Maury, detached from reality. Yes, these images ain't even from Kenya. Like what? And this is a fake demonstration. This is Baghdad Bob shit. This is childlike, insane in the head shit. That's the same level you're talking about what happened to this man. They're not used to being questioned. They're not used to that complete control of Africa. These puppets and morons. So the fact is, they think all African. See, and this was fucking them up. They said, "Damn, the youth are destroying the African dumb myth." They said, "Damn, these youth are fucking smart. They ain't like these dumb up. These leaders are stupid that we got." And they call this is called an inflection point, where the populace now is too smart. They know that their leaders are stupid and puppets. Now you're not at an inflection point. That will always happen. Always. This always happens in time. Go ahead.
At that time period, especially, that is why we have a very great African writer. His name is Ngugi wa Thiong'o. I don't know if you've read his books. He's from Kenya, but he lives in the United States up to date. Even Chinua Achebe and so many others had to run away from Africa because Chinua Achebe writes and says at that point Africa was a very dangerous place to be.
Of course.
If you are
If you're integrity.
Yeah. It was a very dangerous place to be.
Very dangerous. I know that exactly. You'll get exactly because all the morons are putting power to Maury. Jomos, the motherfuckers, they're all putting power. The morons are putting power. Of course, it'd be dangerous as shit for you. Shit, and that was on purpose. That was on purpose. Moron is easily manipulated with the shiny thing. Hey, we're gonna give you a house. We're gonna make you give you money. You know, Moron's not gonna be able to get money on his own. He's not gonna be able to make any money. So you put a Kagame and a Jomo and all these motherfuckers in power and a Museveni. These are idiots. It makes it dangerous for an intellectual African to survive because they're gonna come for you. You'll get murdered for stupid. You'll get murdered for stupid shit. You talk better than me, hey? I'll show you. God damn. I'm getting murdered because I can speak good English. That's right.
No, he committed suicide apparently. After realizing that he speaks better English than the president, he committed suicide. And that was why there was another writer. I don't remember his name. What was his name? The one that said, "Each time I fight for African rights, I only use one hand because I have to use the other hand to fight off other Africans who are fighting me." There was an African who said that.
That's so true. I told you. That's right. You always got a coon-ass African, slave-ass African in the head that's going to fight you and betray you. That's what's going on with Ibrahim Traore right now. These coons.
Who said that? And every time I fight for Africans, I have to use one hand because the other hand, I have to use it to keep off other Africans fighting me. And that is 100% true if you look at it from each and every angle. Even right now, you look at, for example, in Niger, look at Niger, for example, with Traore. He has to use one hand because the other hand is busy fighting the likes of Diomaye Faye, who was meeting with Macron this week, who was trying to convince him to go back to ECOWAS. So you are fighting the white man with one hand because your other hand is, you have to be on the lookout for the likes of Tinubu, for the likes of Diomaye Faye, for the likes of, so I think it was Samora who said that. Each time I want to fight for African rights, I only use one hand. The other hand, I have to fight fellow Africans who are fighting me. So as we come to the end of the show, we are almost coming to the end. HR is in the building. And Jiba Jaba is saying, I predict Kenyan politicians will pass a no doxing bill. And this says, even Obama spoke pretty too. That is to do with when we said we used to look at people who are good orators and confuse good oratory skills with good leadership, which the two of them are very different.
But that's true. But it wasn't about Obama being a good leader. He was already a puppet put there to cause damage. He had been groomed. Obama had been groomed from a child, fam. Obama has been groomed and from a child by the CIA. Remember, his daddy was his father was Lolo Sotoro, a hitman for the CIA. Put us up, Demo. Let's see if Google will admit we know it was, but they probably go say was Barack Obama's stepfather, well, who I think is probably his real father, Lolo Sotoro, a hitman for the CIA. That's Lolo Sotoro. So Sotoroo. Sotoro. How you pronounce that shit?
Was he Indonesian? Because the Lolo Sotoro I'm seeing is in Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia. So was he a hitman? Yeah, you got a lot of black people in Indonesia, Demore. Was he as a man being a hitman for the CIA?
Let me see.
We know he had CIA contacts, they could probably say. So we know Obama has always been under the wing of the CIA.
They said he was a geographer.
A geographer. Okay. How's a geographer? Okay. What was his wealth? Okay, we're gonna debunk the lie. So how much was he worth? Let's see. How much was Lolo Sotoro worth?
Maybe Indonesian geographers are rich. Let's see.
Nah. How much he's worth?
Let me see.
What was Lolo Sotoro's net worth? Let's see. There ain't no geography money, I bet that. He was a geographer. Geographer. Yeah, the CIA. A geographer. That man never even picked up a geography book. A geographer. You get out of here with that crazy shit.
They say his net worth was 150K.
What? 150K? No, he's one of the richest men in Indonesia, Demore. 150K. He would piss out of 150K.
At the time of his death, he was worth 150K.
All right. No,
Indonesian geographer that rich as I thought.
That's what. No, he's one of the richest men in Indonesia, Demore. One of the richest men. And he was one of the richest men in the world because he was a hitman for the CIA. Now he's a poor geographer. Hold on. Let me see if I go to DuckDuckGo. Let me see. Before we wrap this, give me a sec. Let me ask you.
They're saying it's 150K USD.
Yeah, that's right.
The geographer.
Yeah, Lolo Sotoro worked for the CIA. The company's family untold story of Obama. See, goes back to Obama. The untold of Obama. Lolo Sotoro was known as a CIA agent, but it was never confirmed. You don't get out of here. Yeah, he was a CIA. Whose job was to recruit, asset, and help obtain U.S. So now he's a recruiter, right? They said he's only recruit. Goes back to the history, the untold history of the Obama family. Motherfucker, he was a goddamn hitman for the CIA. So they're trying to hide the connections with Obama as a baby with the CIA. Wasn't no fucking geographer. Geographer only worth $100,000. You don't get the hell out of here with that bullshit. Motherfucker was a baby.
Who Obama inherited 450 million from, according to Jiba Jaba.
Exactly.
Geography.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. No, he inherited $450 million. Go ahead.
Is
Go
there
ahead.
any chance he owns Nat Geo? He might be the owner of Nat Geo for him to be able to make this amount.
National Geographic's older than that, older than Muff. I should go back up to 1800, right? He didn't get that. He didn't get that money. He didn't get that money from no poor fucking Kenyan father. I tell you that. And he wasn't no geographer. I tell you that. Huh?
Obama Kenya's the Kenyan father that they say is Obama's father, Obama Senior, was also elected in 1959.
Yeah.
The one that is Obama.
I think he's part of the CIA thing. We're gonna say this kid is yours. You're like, yeah, okay. We're gonna make this whole story because we're gonna make this little nigga the president years later. What? A black man to be president? Yeah, with the CIA, we can do anything. We're gonna do it. So that's why Obama's history's all covered up. Nobody like this. Just like everybody here, Tamari said, Indonesia? Did they say Indonesia? Obama lived in Indonesia? He didn't live in Kenya. He lived in Indonesia. You didn't know that? Yeah, that's right. That's why you said Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia, goddammit.
The man who said, each time I want to fight for African rights, I only use one hand because the other hand is busy trying to keep away Africans who are fighting me. His name was Benjamin Burombo. I don't know where he came from.
All right.
He's an African fighter.
It's African. That's the truth. That's all of Africa. You always got a coon-ass house nigga in Africa. It's gonna fight for the white man. Yeah, you got what's that guy's name? You said his name was Duke. Duke what? What's his name? Duke what? Duke of Crazy? What's that guy's name, Demore?
Duke of Kabete. He came from America.
That's how you know this motherfucker's crazy. He anointed himself a whole Duke of a part of Kenya. This motherfucker's Duke of Crazy. He hated black people so much. You always gonna have a hating nigga, coon ass house nigga. He's the Duke of Crazy. Crazy bastard. That story you'll find the same thing in Nigeria, Ghana, every African country's got one of them motherfucking dukes of nonsense. Every one of them. It's crazy. Ibram Toure is fighting them right now. He's got coup after coup after coup after coup. Like, goddamn, how many coups I got in this bitch every day? Goddamn it. He's at 19 coups. Go ahead.
You compare him with other people that were elected with him. For example, the one that I said, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, he's in the US. He had to flee Kenya back then because it was for him. So this one was calling himself the Duke. Ngugi wa Thiong'o dropped his English name. Totally, he does not have an English name. Ngugi is an African name. Thiong'o is an African name. He dropped his English. They flew him. They lifted him to America, and he dropped his English name when he came back. He hated those people so much that he dropped his English name.
Yeah, because in those meetings, the more they're frank with you. We want you to betray these other niggas. We're gonna make you rich. You're gonna be the big man in Kenya, and all you gotta do is do our bidding. You need the minerals, and we're gonna give you some money, and fuck these other niggas. Don't fuck them. Your population is stupid. We're gonna keep them ignorant. Okay. You're going to help us keep them backward. School fees. We're going to always say you need school fees. You're never going to advocate for free and real education that benefits African people. That's a no-no. And so we're going to give you money. And you're going to be the Duke of Crazy too.
But you're going to be rich. You're going to be very rich.
That's right. That's right. You're going to be rich. That's all that counts. You're the big man. You're the big, Africa's got the big, the more you done gave me like 3 stories of big man disease. That just proves my point. Since I speak better than him, I die. Since I get more donations, I shine the big man. I got shot in the head by a best friend. A best friend shot me in the head, Demore. Who's supposed to be helping me? God damn!
And I actually saw a video of somebody explaining how they took over Zaire, which is now DRC, and it is how they took over all of Africa. So in Zaire, they head, they put people, the IMF put people in actual offices in Zaire.
Exact
They
officers,
made people,
exactly. They made them the
yeah,
head
they
of
put puppets.
finances in Zaire. Yeah.
The main objective was to make sure that the people of Zaire in agriculture, for example, they do not produce any food for themselves, but they produce food for export. So they
Yeah.
produce food for export the
For white
food.
people.
They
Hmm.
would produce the likes of coffee, the likes of tea, those types of crops that you cannot consume, the ones that you
Exactly.
can't eat. And because they are people in the finance ministry, in the treasury, so how are they going to make sure that even as you export the coffee to us, we buy it at the cheapest price? How are we going to do that? We have our man in the Ministry of
That's
Finance who's going
right.
to devalue the Zairean currency.
Now
So
you
the
understand
Zairean
how. Now
currency,
you understand. Now you understand how it works, Demore. It's some wicked
so
shit. Evil.
gets
Go ahead.
devalued. So now we buy the coffee,
Yeah.
sold us the coffee, you got money, that you got peanuts for the coffee, and
That's
you don't
right.
have food. The same
That's
shamba
right.
that planted the coffee, you could have planted corn for your own consumption, but you did not. And how are we
All
going to
kind
make
of
sure that
food. All kind of food you could have got.
how are we going to make sure, how are we going to make sure that you can't change your mind? We put laws and regulations. For
That's
example, in
right.
Kenya, it is illegal to uproot coffee. Do you know that you can't uproot? You have to look for a license as coffee or tea. You can't uproot it. You can't change tomorrow and decide I'm not going to plant coffee anymore. I'm going to start planting corn so that I can get food. So we find that we have farmers who go to the farms every day. They work so hard. They produce crops. They produce produce that we export. And now we don't have food in our continent that is the most fertile continent. We can't produce
Exactly,
food for our own
Demore.
consumption. But we produce food for export that does not benefit us. So that is how
Exactly. See?
does it
Now
come to
you're
the
too.
end? HR is coming up.
Now you're too smart, Demore. Now I got to put a bullet in your head. you know too, you know too. You know too much now, Demore. Now it's time to get a bullet. Time to get a bullet, nigga. time to get a bullet. You know how. You know how the scam. You know how the scam works. You know how the scam
As we
works,
come to the
Demore.
end, I hope you enjoyed.
It's time. It's time to get the bullet, nigga. It's bullet time. Time to get the bullet, Demore. You done figured out the scam. Uh-oh. It's bullet time, nigga.
But one thing that consoles me is I know they would allocate money for the bullet, but somebody would steal it. So that is
oh, shit. oh,
enjoy the
shit.
rest of your weekend.
Guys, goddamn. no,
A big
they're
shout
gonna
out
make
to
sure
Chiba
they're
Jaba.
gonna
Shout out
they're gonna make
to
sure
Mark.
that bullet don't get stolen because you know too much, nigga. Hey, white man gonna say, make sure nobody steals this bullet. Got Demore's name on it. You understand that? Make sure, you corrupt bastards.
At least if it has to get there, at least make sure it's a Nigerian sniper. That one is gonna use a fake bullet. Yeah, so a big shout out to Chiba Jaba, to Michelle, to Unsunken One, to General Mosquito, who was with me, of course, on Facebook, and everybody else who was with me watching silently. I'm gonna be here on Monday on the updates, and HR is coming back in a minute with with Java Java is telling me to run in a zigzag going home. So enjoy the
right.
rest of your weekend, family.
His ass better learn to start running zigzag. He's starting to figure too much out. he's starting to figure too much shit out, jibber jabber. He better watch out for Matado's gonna blow up on his ass. He ain't got Demore ain't got no friends in the police station. Hey brother, this Matado's got a bomb on it and shit.
So for the Kenyans watching, see you on Tuesday with we're going to be occupying the parliament on Tuesday. So that is for the young. We will be in the streets on Tuesday and on Thursday. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's always a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen.